Hi, my name is Pulchérie Mboussi. Welcome to this video in celebration of the Black History Month Canada 150. Bonjour et bienvenue sur cette vidéo qui célèbre le mois de l'histoire des Noirs du Canada 150e. Amusez-vous bien.
We wanted to invite different cultures from the community to celebrate with us and share a little bit of their cultural spirit. Yeah, we had Ukrainian dancers, Polynesian dancers, Demba dancing from Ghana.
Belly dancing.
There was belly dancing too. We were very fortunate to be able to use the Dave Dunnett Community Theatre. It's quickly becoming one of the top theatres on the island. As you can see, the sound and lighting were impeccable. We've been very lucky.
It is such a pleasure for me to be here simply because we love our culture and we love any opportunities we have to share it. But most importantly, we really love seeing people who are interested, who really just take their time in order to be here and to celebrate with us and to also receive what we have to offer. I come from Cameroon, and Cameroon is right at the border between West and Central Africa. And so because of that, there are some dance steps that are a little bit similar to the dance style that we see in West Africa, but others are completely different. So most people are not used to that. And in fact, the steps, when you watch some of our dances, our traditional dances, they are very easy and straightforward, but that's because they are very subtle. Because when people see it, oh, it looks simple, and the moment they try, it's just a different story, because there's subtlety in the body that you have to allow to feel in the body. It's not in the mind, and a lot of people here try to dance with their mind, but you can't do that with
That's a good tip. Hey, the body's 70% water too. You have to work with that, don't you?
Well, absolutely. You have to be very fluid. You have to allow that water to flow around you without holding it and stopping the flow, really.
Well, actually, my friends bring me out. They asked me if I wanted to come. I also have a half-black child, and so I'm very interested in black culture, whether it's African culture. My son's half Melanesian, so I just think that the more that we get to know cultures of everyone, whether it's Turkish culture or Canadian culture. We have a Turkish woman right here, sitting here. I just think it just makes our lives so much more fulfilled.
Do they play drums in Turkey?
They do have frame drums and various drums, definitely.
Yeah, were you playing some Turkish rhythms today then? Or?
Well, I was just following the rhythm here and it was awesome. It's just playing the rhythm all together and being part of that one rhythm. It's so powerful, it was amazing.
I'll go first, you guys echo me. Well, drums are very unifying. It's an instrument that you can play without having to know any notes or scales. Within a few minutes, we can have a large group of people playing together, and it sounds good. That might be different for, say, a violin workshop. Might take a few classes. The other thing that's nice about drums is very intergenerational. So you can have young people, grandparents, kids all playing together and enjoying making music together. So right off the bat, they can do something and bond together and play. The rhythms that I'm teaching today were from Guinea, West Africa. We did Yankari and Makru, a slow rhythm and a fast rhythm. This is the way that I learned from my teacher. So not only was it very accessible for different age groups and people with some experience or no experience, but also was quite authentic too.
What is this that you have in your hand right here? What is this instrument?
Kamale Ngoni. This is, in some people call it the ancestor of the banjo. The banjo was originally an African instrument. It's not quite the ancestor. There's another instrument called a konting, which is more closely linked, but the idea is the same. It's a gourd, which is the body, and then there's a skin, a hide on it, which is like the drum. And a banjo, if you think about it, is a drum with strings.
And what does this sound like?
Well, it's a little bit out of tune, but it's actually very melodic.
Oh yeah, that's very peaceful.
I was performing with some of my students West African music, and that's on djembe, really famous drum, bass drums, and balafon, which is a West African xylophone, a very ancient instrument. It goes back more than 800 years.
This style of dancing comes from Ghana, northern region. I'm a Dagomba by trap, so I'm a local international dancer. Canada is like home, excuse me to say, because beautiful people, nice people. So I feel like, oh, when I start talking to them and I feel how they are, like the way they communicate to me, I feel comfortable by talking to them because I didn't trust my English. I'm an immigrant. I'm married to Canadian, and then we have 2 children right now. So, and then I have to stay to learn the Canadian culture and then to share my culture.
He's having a workshop at the cafeteria, so you can just go over there to learn from him.
So I'm from Nigeria. I came to Victoria about a year and 4 months ago to study at Railroads University, but right now I'm interning with the Victoria Foundation. Being here to celebrate the Black History Month, it is remarkable the amount of people that showed up. It just says a lot to you about how people are interested in African cultures or things that they're not used to. That is acceptance, that is really welcoming. And that was the first thing that I got of Victorians coming to this community. So being a part of this has been great for me. It shows me another side to the community, and at the same time it just is amazing.
Black History Awareness Month allows us to reflect on the contribution, it builds awareness of the contributions throughout our Canadian history in building our country. So it's joyful to go into a room where they're of that celebrating, where they have all the drums.
Even you
playing.
were dancing.
I was dancing a little bit out there, I know.
We are a multicultural country and we are legally defined as such, and we should be celebrating every thread that makes up our national tapestry. The fact that we take 1 month to focus particularly on one aspect of our history doesn't mean we ignore it the rest of the year. We build from that month. We build from the month of February, and we recognize that, for example, the Alexander family, historic name here in this area, had a profound influence on lacrosse, played in the region. Lacrosse, one of our 2 national sports. It's the way we tie all those narratives together to say, this is a country that can shine, and Black History Awareness Month is but one thread that we should be celebrating.
We do things like these is because without engaging in another person's culture, you can't really understand that person fully. So we can all come together as one large community and learn about each other.